In this space with hard hats and power tools, women are building skills and confidence through a program designed to train them in the male-dominated construction industry.
I really like just using the machines and being able to create something that with my own hands. I'm not a very confident person, I'm quite shy, but I feel like with the trades and construct, I was able to open up more and try new things even when I was scared.
I wanted to try out the program just to see where my ideas can go and what they offer for women.
Blue Door, the nonprofit that runs Construct, says the launch of this all-women's cohort highlights its goal of challenging systemic inequities and empowering women through career development. Emmy Kelly says the program also recognizes a void in the labor market. According to the federal government, the construction industry needs to recruit more than 350,000 new workers by 2033.
The Construct program, which this year is slated to serve 270 participants, we want to increase the number of women who have the opportunity to move into the labor trades. And to do so, this program provides wraparound supports. It provides supports with childcare, with transport, with any other needs that you might have.
According to Stats Canada, only 5% of skilled trades workers in Canada are women. And while efforts to support more training and recruitment have been making strides in the last few years, people who work in the industry say retention also needs to be a priority.
And then once we all got out into the field and started working, we realized that all the support that we had once we were training wasn't really there anymore. And many women that enter this type of industry end up leaving because the community isn't there, the supports aren't there. And so we created Women on Site to retain a diverse workforce so that women feel like they have a community and they have support and they have people that they can talk to.
Blue Door's goal is to further expand the program across the country. Noreen hopes to get into carpentry, a goal she says she would have pursued earlier in her career if more programs like this existed.
If you're a woman, if you want to get into trade, this is a place. It's not too late. And you set your goals towards a direction where you want to go. I think there are many opportunities for you out there.
Talia Ricci, CBC News, Toronto.
This is a completely touchless facility. From sowing and seeding all the way through harvest and packing, no one touches this crop. Each one of these little plastic gullies is packed with peat moss and then seeded to, and it enters our greenhouse down at the south end down there. It goes through a germination box where it has its own microclimate that it begins the cultivation process in, and then it's automatically moved through the greenhouse using a series of hooks and levers. We have sensors that measure temperature, light intensity, humidity levels, pressure levels. Everything within this greenhouse is automated by that central computer to achieve optimal grow conditions for this crop at all times.
A lot of people, first of all, don't realize how technology can be used in their own homes to provide care and support. And so we decided we needed a demonstration space that's right in the heart of the city where anyone can come see it.
So we work with a company called TalkTech, an age-well company, and with this technology, we are monitoring what's happening.
The stove is on.
As you can see, easy plug-and-play install, and again, with an app, a caregiver could know that the stove is being used properly, but also an own personal reminder. So as an older adult, if I'm walking away, I can set for myself how long I think is appropriate to be walking away from the stove. You can see here that there's a sensor here. So now the technology knows that I've been away from the kitchen, and in 1 minute you will hear a reminder.
Just a reminder that the stove is on.
This one, instead of using the radar, this will turn the camera image into a stick figure. You would be notified as a caregiver a pattern of behavior. As we know, we need to be up and mobile in order to maintain good health. So you would be able to call or pop in and be able to suggest some movement. And that actually brings us to another technology that we have in the space, which is the Centivizer here. So you'll see as you're cycling and activating your arms that you're moving through the space. And now we're entering the bedroom. Underneath the mattress, what you cannot see, really important technology that is sensing your sleep patterns, providing you data on your heart rate, and really importantly, if someone is living with dementia or is caring for someone that's living with dementia, what this technology is doing is it's sensing if you're in and out of the bed. As you can imagine, a situation that could unfurl is that you're in bed and you've had a fall. And so you can position the chirp sensor here that's detecting through radar, but it also has an audio component that you can activate. So if I say, help, and then I say it again, you saw it turned white, I just say it again, help, and now it's turned red and a notification has gone to the caregiver that I choose.
As more and more of these technologies are being seen, the costs are coming down. You know, you can go into your local big box store now and buy a lot of the smart home sensors you need for, you know, tens of dollars or hundreds of dollars, and they do exactly what you're seeing happening in this demonstration home.
Hundreds of hockey fans made the trek to Sunrise, Florida for Game 3 between the Leafs and Panthers.
Go Leafs, go! How excited are you about this game?
We're just dying to get to this game.
The location doesn't hurt either, with many enjoying the Florida sunshine in between games. Politics was the farthest thing from this fan's mind.
When the Leafs are in the second round, it doesn't happen too often, so I have to come see it when I can, right?
Mark Farah has been traveling to see Leafs playoff games for years. He says this time, with the recent trade war and rhetoric from U.S. President Donald Trump, there was a lot more to think about.
I mean, I've heard some stories from people crossing at the border, a couple of them being turned away.
Farah says he had no issues getting through U.S. customs to come here. So far, his experience has been very similar to the one he had 2 years ago when he came to see the Leafs play the Panthers in the playoffs, except for one big difference.
It's a little bit easier this time. It was more expensive last time that I'm finding so far.
Farah says his flight was more than $1,000 cheaper this year, and he's paying less than half of what he paid 2 years ago for a hotel and rental car. He wonders if prices have gone down as a result of fewer Canadians traveling to the U.S.
I think people just haven't been interested in coming down for many reasons.
According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection data, there was over 900,000 fewer land border crossings in March compared to the same time in 2024, which is more than a 22% drop. A spokesperson for Air Canada told CBC News they've seen about a 10% drop in flight bookings from Canada to the U.S. Daniel St. Dennis is a Canadian who has been living in the U.S. for 20 years.
Have you noticed a difference in the amount of Canadians that are traveling to the U.S. right now?
100%. Yeah, there's a drastic drop in the Canadians coming down here, attending games, coming to the resorts, coming to the hotels, coming to the beaches. There's been a huge drop in our fellow Canadian travelers. Absolutely.
Many of the Canadians who are here this weekend to see playoff hockey told us they wouldn't have come for any other reason.
I'll tell you, if I wasn't a Leaf fan, I don't know with the dollar exchange whether I'd be making a lot of choices right now to come down.
The Leafs will play Game 4 of their series with the Panthers on Sunday night. Many more Leaf fans are expected to be at that game as well. Greg Ross, CBC News, Sunrise, Florida.